There's a light in Saskatoon that you don't get anywhere else. I think it's the light and reflected and refracted from the water. And I just so entranced with that light.
For 7 decades, Dorothy Knowles has strived to capture that light and the effect it has on Saskatchewan landscapes. She says the resulting illumination is unlike anywhere else in the world.
It's very radiant.
And she, in turn, has changed the landscape of the Canadian art scene.
Dorothy is an extremely important figure in not only Saskatchewan art history, but Canadian art history. Many would regard her as the greatest living landscape painter in Canada, and I don't think that's a stretch.
Originally from Unity, Saskatchewan, her influential career began essentially by accident, when a friend signed up for a class at the prestigious Emma Lake Artist Workshop.
And she wanted company, so I went with her. And I was caught, and I was taken over by painting ever since.
Knowles says it took some time to find her own style as an artist, but not due to a lack of effort.
Well, at the beginning, I tried to be Cézanne and I tried to be Picasso. And then I started working directly off the landscape and driving out and doing a watercolor or something, racing back, feed my kids, race out again. I love the woods. I grew up in the prairie and the Depression, and we never got to go anywhere. So when I went to that first class up in Emma Lake, I couldn't believe the woods. I was just entranced.
Emma Lake exposed Knowles to world-renowned artists like Kenneth Noland and Donald Judd, among others. It also put Saskatchewan on the international art scene.
It gave us a broad perspective on world art, especially New York art. We were sort of taught that New York art is the art. You've been very ridiculous studying French art.
These are mostly just studies in color.
Knowles was married to the late influential Saskatchewan modernist painter William Parahudov, whom she met at an art gallery and wedded in Paris. She credits him with teaching her how to watercolor, but also says being married to an artist wasn't always easy professionally.
You had to try harder. He was very hard to please. He kept you up to snuff, so we all tried harder. And we had his work to look up to.
Art as a family affair included the couple's 3 daughters, who often accompanied Dorothy on her painting trips and have gone on to have artistic careers of their own. They captured the landscapes they encountered in watercolor, as much for practical as aesthetic reasons.
Oils would be sticky, but with the watercolors you could just pile them up. So we would paint the mountains from morning to night. And the morning was early and night was late, so we got a lot of watercolors done. But those were some of the happiest times of my life, painting with my daughters in the mountains.
But she also continued to be drawn to painting scenes closer to home.
It was done from memory of a trip from Blaine Lake that was late in the fall, and because I was so entranced with the changing light as the sunset faded. Bill had bought a camera, and I had never worked from slides, but Bill had these slides, and so I didn't have a viewer or anything. I just held it like this, and I did a little series of that painting because it was this gorgeous fall day.
Capturing Saskatchewan's unique landscapes and light occasionally came with its own set of challenges.
It was an extremely uncomfortable time because it's full of mosquitoes and there's no seams and all those nice things. And that is a painful memory.
I've never seen it up or looked at it, or like it was just done and put in storage.
Well, isn't it great that Rose found it and gave it a new life?
Yeah, it makes me think of Ken Knoll.
And the mosquitoes.
The memories came flooding back for Knowles and her family as they took in an exhibition of her work at the Remai Modern Art Gallery.
Interesting to see another person's take on it. Like, Rose picked out this part of Mom's psyche that I just find fascinating.
Curator Rose Batillier created the exhibition, which features 3 prairie artists from different generations. Selecting the Knowles paintings was difficult due to the artist's skill and prolific nature.
I'm most interested in these works that describe change, or that have this energy, this kind of tumultuous, churning energy, the fleetingness of life, things growing, things fading, river flowing. There's that really, she's able to capture that sense of transition, and it's stormy. It's not always beautiful and clear. There's all sorts of sides to it.
Although her work has shown around the world, Knowles says it's special to have it exhibited in her hometown gallery. Now 91 years old, she continues to paint, but admits her pace has slowed from its former frantic nature.
I enjoy it, yes. My knees are a bit difficult, so that slows me down quite a bit. But so far, my hands are okay. I do some smaller things and aspire to do more, but time will tell.